Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
And thank you to Sharon and to Sam and to all of the people who made this day possible, to the people who printed and mailed the invitation that I received and was so honored and humbled to receive, and to every one of you who live in Lehigh Valley as well as right here in Allentown. Thank you so much. That was so touching for me. So if you hear my voice crack, it's fine. It's fine for us to feel what's going on in our world. And sometimes we act like we don't. So could we just take a moment and sit with what was just said before I continue? I'm here to tell you a story of legacy as well, and not my own. I was 15 years old when I went to the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. I grew up in D.C., and as a D.C. girl, we got to hear things happening before other people did. And I went there against my parents' wishes because I wanted to see all of the great people who were gathering. I didn't really know their names. The names I knew were Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, but I knew there were thousands upon thousands gathering. And when I got there, I was so amazed to see a sea of brown faces, an ocean of people who have gotten there on foot, in pickup trucks, in church buses, in school buses, on bicycles, and every other way. And I had come on 2 buses across D.C. to be there. And as I stood there, I was so amazed by what I was seeing, I didn't really listen to what the people were saying. I was 15, I was feeling this incredible moment in time. And I didn't know how to hold it all, so I just watched. I observed. I felt deeply. It was said women were uninvited to speak. I didn't know that then, but I certainly wondered about it. And she did one thing that stayed with me all of my life. She sung the word freedom. And the 2 syllables left her beautiful voice and being with her great activist heart. And they fell out over the crowds of people who had their heads and hands raised to receive these syllables of freedom. And they landed on my little 15-year-old heart and went deep into my being. And out of that experience arose a vow. I could hear it inside. I will serve people for the rest of my life. I had no idea as I was riding back on the DC bus to home in Southeast Washington what that vow would hold, what would unfold in the fabric of my life. I had no idea. But I will tell you this, that as the challenges came and as the joys came, I met them as best I could, including the day that I joined the Black Panther Party, which was not, by the way, a collection of thugs and hoodlums. We served people. And our motto, all power to the people, is both very timely. It reminds me of so many things that have unfolded in history. And it's ironic, isn't it, that here we are, almost at the 50th anniversary of the Black Panther Party, and so many years after the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, and almost all of the leaders, almost all of the people who participated were at some point in their lives considered infamous. And now we're famous. It's amazing. But if I am to be famous because I stood up for all people who were beyond race, beyond class, beyond sexual orientation, beyond gender, beyond citizenship status, beyond ability. My entire life has been cutting through the boxes that I was told I should stay in and encouraging others to break out of all the boxes that they are in because they're not made of cement. So my life has taken me everywhere. It has taken me 2 years in prison for a crime I did not commit. But those are the days of FBI COINTELPRO. And if you don't know what COINTELPRO is, as a friend said to me once, there's this thing called Google. So you can COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, a heinous program of the FBI under the directorship of J. Edgar Hoover. And on the day that his clandestine and illegal activities orchestrated the event that killed my husband, John Huggins, and my dear friend, Al Prentice Bungie Carter, in daylight on the campus of UCLA, I knew that there was so much work to do at every level of government. And not to shy away from speaking what needs to be said and still remaining loving. Yes. I learned that in solitary confinement. There are, as Anne Frank said, what did she say? Does anybody remember what Anne Frank said? People are basically good and hard. So good people, what we have to do is step forward and do something. As the challenges come, as the burdens that keep us awake at night happen for us as individuals, and they do, right? Right. We have to say, there is another day. I can do something in this world. I can step forward, I can step out, I can speak up. Even if it's just on my job. Even if it's in a classroom to a professor. A professor can speak to the dean. There are so many things we can do that don't call for you to go to jail like I did. They don't call for you to lose your life like my dear John Huggins. They don't call for you to lose your job even. And all of these young black and brown men and women who are being killed, it must stop. And it is up to you. And you. And you. And you. It's not up to somebody else. There is no somebody else.